Hey guys, welcome back to our movie recap channel. In this video, we will be watching the movie called 28 Days Later. So, let's get started. Turn on subtitles and spoilers ahead. In the start of the movie, we see a lab. In that lab, a lot of monkeys are used for inhuman experiments. The poor monkeys are tied to a bed and are made to watch extremely horrifying videos. Knowing about such experiments, people who believe in animal liberation break into the lab, and they are horrified to see the condition of those animals. They plan to oppose these inhuman activities and rescue all the animals from there. The lab in charge gets caught by them, and he warns them to not let the monkeys out. He says that they are infected with a virus which makes them extremely aggressive. But the group doesn't believe him a bit and proceed to open the cages. The lab in charge tries to stop them. He tells them that just one bite from those monkeys can transmit the virus onto humans. But the girl from the group opens the cage, and the monkey which was inside it comes charging towards the girl and attacks her. Her friend ironically kills the monkey to save her, but the girl has already been infected. She spits blood on her friend's face, and she has completely changed into a raging monster. The lab in charge says that they need to kill her, but the girl kills him before he could do anything. 28 days later, we see our main character Jim. He wakes from a coma in a hospital in London. He checks around the hospital, but he finds no one. He tries every telephone in the hospital, but none of them are working. Before leaving the hospital, Jim drinks a can of soft drink and takes some more for later. After exiting the hospital, Jim finds the whole city in a state of silence. He roams all around the city, but fails to find even one person outside in the city of London. Jim is confused, and he is not sure what happened while he was in coma. Jim goes to a church and calls out hello to know if anyone was there. The father of the church then comes out of the door, and he seems weird to Jim. The father starts coming towards Jim, who then realizes that it was a zombie. Jim hits him with his bag full of cans, after which he gets chased down by more zombies. Jim tries to run away from the zombies, and he gets help from a group of people. They take Jim to a safe place and ask him who he was. Jim explains to them that he used to be a courier guy and had gotten into an accident which kept him in coma until today. He tells them that he has no idea what was going on. The two people who saved his life introduce themselves as Mark and Selena. Mark tells Jim that the world is not the same as he knew before. Selena then says that a virus had started transmitting to people, which were turning humans into raging zombies. At first, they had only heard news about such a virus. But soon, they all got to see that the virus was real, and it has spread to most parts of the world. Before the government could evacuate London, the whole city was almost destroyed by the zombies, and now there are only a few people who have managed to survive. There is no government left, and there is no electricity. And Jim is the only person that Mike and Selena have seen in days. Hearing all this, Jim is worried. He says that he wants to check on his parents, and tries to get out. Selena warns him that if he goes outside, he will die for sure. Seeing Jim frustrated and worried about his parents, Mike tells him that they will go with him to find his parents tomorrow. He says that walking around in the daytime is a lot safer. Next day, the three of them go out together and reach Jim's parents' house. They go inside to check, but Jim finds that his parents had committed suicide. He finds them holding a picture of him, and behind that picture he finds a note. Jim's parents had written a note to Jim before they took their own lives. Jim starts crying after reading that note, but there's nothing he can do. His parents were gone. That night, they decide to sleep in Jim's house, because it's not safe to go out during the night. Mark and Selena go to sleep, but Jim finds it hard to sleep due to the loss of his parents. Just then, two zombies attack Jim from the window. Jim calls out for help, and Mike and Selena come to his rescue once again. Selena asks Jim if he was bitten, or if the blood of the zombies had entered his mouth. Jim answers no. But Mike has been bitten, and Selena notices it. Without a second of thought, Selena attacks Mike and kills him. Jim is in shock seeing all of this. Selena tells Jim to get ready because once a zombie attacks a place, more follow them. They get out of the house, and start walking to their safe house. On their way, they notice a building in which a room has flickering lights on. Jim and Selena walk towards that building. They get to the building and take the stairs to reach that room which have the lights on. Mike and Selena take a short break on the stairs, and they notice that a group of zombies are below them. The zombies start coming towards them. Jim and Selena start running, and they are met by a man in a riot suit. He tells them the direction to his house, and then fights off the zombies all by himself. The name of that person is Frank, and he is living with his daughter Hannah. Frank seems happy to see that some people were alive. He says that they need to celebrate. Frank tells them to get comfortable. But Hannah, on the other hand, doesn't seem pleased to have guests in her house. Frank gets the drink, and he really seems like a nice guy. Next day, Frank shows Jim that he had buckets all over the roof of the building. Frank explains that he used to collect rainwater on those buckets. But it hasn't rained in over 10 days, which was making life tough for him and his daughter to survive. Frank explains to Jim that they cannot survive here, and they have to move elsewhere. Frank then plays a recorded message on his radio. The message is from the British Army, and it says that there are more people who have survived the virus, and they all are living together in a place which is far from where they are currently. Selena is surprised to hear this radio message. The message then also says that they have the protection against the virus. Frank shows Jim the place where they need to go, and it will take them 3 days to reach there. Frank says that he needs the help of Jim and Selena to get out of this place. But Selena thinks that the message is old, so the soldiers could already be dead, or it could be a false message. But Frank says that they cannot just sit here and slowly die of starvation. So, they all decide to go out. They take a car and head out for the journey. On their way, they find a tunnel. Jim says that they shouldn't go in as the zombies attack in the dark, so it's not safe to enter that tunnel. But Selena and Frank believe it's a shortcut. So, they drive into the tunnel. The tunnel is filled with vehicles, and Frank drives around them to move ahead. Jim is mad that nobody listened to him. But Frank drives above the vehicles and is not concerned about it until the tire of their car gets busted. They get out and hurry to change the tires. Just then, they notice that a bunch of zombies were coming towards them. They realize that they need to hurry. So, Jim, Selena and Frank lift the car, while Hannah quickly starts changing the tires. The zombies are closing in on them, and all of them are worried. But Hannah manages to change the tire, just in time for them to escape from there. They soon find a grocery store, and decide to go in. They get happy to see that the store was filled with whatever they needed to survive for quite a long time. They grab the shopping carts and start grabbing all the food items they preferred. While the girls pick items wisely, Frank starts to pick some alcohol. On their way out, Frank even leaves his credit card. Frank indeed is a good person. They notice a gas truck and decide to take some with them. The whole city was empty, so they could take anything they wanted. They drive for a long way and decide to stop at a green field to eat. The group has begun to bond pretty well. They even get to witness a group of horses which they find to be magical. It's getting late, so they decide to sleep there for the night. Next day, they're back on their journey to reach the place where they could find help and shelter. They finally reach the place, but they can't find anyone in there. Selena says that the message was probably false. But Frank is optimistic. He tells everyone to look around. But they still don't find anyone. Frank gets sad that the only hope for their survival was nowhere to be seen. Then, he hears a crow. He looks up and sees that a dead body was above him. Sadly, a drop of blood falls from that dead body and enters Frank's eyes. Frank knows that he will turn into a zombie. He tells Hannah that he loves her and asks her to stay away from him. Hannah comes closer to him, but Frank pushes her away. Selena realizes that Frank was infected. She tells Jim to kill Frank. Jim is confused and doesn't know what to do. But Selena screams at him to kill Frank. So, Jim is about to smash Frank, but Frank gets killed by the army soldiers who were in hiding. They are the same people who had broadcasted the radio message which brought Frank here. After this, Jim, Selena and Hannah are taken to their camp. They are all sad after what happened to Frank. They reach a house, and there they get to meet Major Henry, who is the leader of the place. Henry welcomes them and tells them that they are all safe now. After welcoming them, Henry takes Jim to show around the place. Henry tells Jim that the whole area was covered with landmines. So, when zombies come near their area, they can immediately know where the zombies are and eliminate the threat quickly. Jim asks them about the cure to the virus. Henry answers that they have no cure, but they can protect Jim and his friends. Henry then takes Jim somewhere and shows him a zombie which has been kept tied up. Henry says that the zombie was one of their friends and was bitten by a zombie a few days back. Jim asks why the zombie was kept like that instead of killing it. Henry explains that they want to see how long a zombie can survive without eating. They wanted to study the infection. That night, they all have dinner together. During the dinner, they hear an explosion. A landmine has exploded due to contact with a zombie. They all rush outside and take their respective positions. They start shooting at the zombies, which were lucky enough to not get caught in the landmine. They successfully wipe out the incoming zombies and return back. One of the army soldiers starts to misbehave with Selena. Jim is confused to see what was going on. But when the soldier gets close to Selena and tries to harass her, Jim can't hold back and attacks him. Seeing all of this, Henry commands his men to go back to their position, but he takes Jim with him. Henry explains to Jim that his men were frustrated with all the fighting with zombies. He says that the morale among them was very low. One of his men even tried to commit suicide because he saw no point in fighting the zombies. So, Henry had promised to bring a girl for them to keep them motivated. So, he broadcasted a fake message about finding a cure to lure in women to their camp. Henry says that he welcomed Jim and his friends only because of Selena and Hannah. Hearing this, Jim is disgusted. He leaves the room and goes to Selena and Hannah. He tells them that they have to leave this place right now. Jim leads the way, and both of the girls follow him. But Jim gets attacked while trying to leave that place. He gets unconscious, but one of the army men is trying to defend Jim and his friends. He points his gun at them and tells them to leave Jim and the girls alone. but he too gets captured. Henry goes to Jim and says that they cannot let go of Selina and Hannah. Jim is now kept as a captive along with the one soldier who was trying to help them. The name of that man is Pharrell. He tells Jim that Henry has gotten mad. The virus has not spread outside this place, and they could find civilization outside, where there are no zombies and infection. But Henry is adamant that they will not leave this place. Just then, 2 armed men enter the room, and they take Jim and Pharrell to the jungle. They take them deep into the jungle where there are a lot of dead bodies. They understand that they are going to be executed. Pharrell wants them to shoot him. One of the soldiers wants to kill him with a rifle knife, but the other thinks that Pharrell is one of them, so they need to make his death quick. He shoots Pharrell and kills him. The 2 soldiers then get into an argument, and Jim takes advantage of that moment and escapes from there. The 2 soldiers run after Jim, but Jim climbs over a wall and barely manages to escape. They think that Jim will probably get killed by the zombies, so they leave without finding him. But Jim isn't dead. He runs around the forest and falls to the ground due to exhaustion. Then, Jim sees a fighter jet in the sky. He realizes that there are still people who are alive and not infected. Meanwhile, Henry commands Selina and Hannah to dress up for them and get all ready. His men take them to a room and start taking Selina's clothes off. Selina looks at Hannah, and she doesn't want the same thing to happen to her. So, she kisses one of the men, and asks him to leave them alone, promising that they will get ready for them. The man agrees and tells others to leave the room. Jim, on the other hand, has managed to reach the place to save Selina and Hannah. His entrance triggers the alarm, and Henry, with few of his men, comes out to check. The men start searching everywhere, but they cannot find Jim. He stays in hiding and manages to kill Henry's men. Henry tries to escape from there, but a group of zombies block his way. So, he gets out of his jeep and runs away. In the house, Selina and Hannah are dressed in clothes that they were given by Henry's men. They all are waiting for Henry to come. At the same time, Jim breaks the chains that were tied to the zombie kept by Henry for research. After getting free, the zombie starts attacking Henry's men. Selina takes Hannah out of there, and the zombie starts infecting the people who are left in the room. Now, the infected army men also turn to zombies, and they too start attacking the rest of the people. The chaos caused by zombies has everyone run for their life, and Selina and Hannah also get separated. One army man starts to run seeing the horror that has occurred in the house, but he gets killed by Jim who was waiting outside. Henry soon enters the house and sees total chaos. Selina is caught by one of the men, but Jim arrives there to save her and kills the man who was holding Selina captive. Seeing Jim covered in blood, Selina thinks that he too has turned into a zombie. She almost attacks Jim, but realizes that Jim was not infected at all. Seeing each other alive, they start to kiss. All this madness has brought them together, and they have fallen for each other. Jim tells Selina that there are people who are not infected by the virus, and they still have hope to stay alive. He tells her about the fighter jet he saw while he was in the forest. Just then, Hannah attacks Jim from behind. Selina asks her why she hit Jim. Hannah explains that she thought Jim was biting her. Jim gets up and tells Hannah that he wasn't not biting Selina, he was kissing her. Now, all 3 of them start running to get out of the place. Hannah quickly gets in the car, and when Selina and Jim are about to enter, they see that Henry was already sitting in the back seat. Henry is mad that Jim killed all of his men, and he shoots Jim. Hannah then quickly backs the car, and takes it to where the zombie is. Henry tells her to stop the car, and she stops the car at the exact spot where the zombie is. The zombie then grabs Henry out of the car and takes him with it. Selina carries Jim inside the car, and Hannah starts driving away from there. Jim is heavily wounded, so Selina gives him an injection which keeps him alive, but also puts him in a coma. 28 days later, Jim wakes up from his coma. He sees that they are now living in a cottage, and the zombies are starting to die due to starvation. Jim meets Selina, and Hannah enters the room to inform them that she had heard a jet passing by. They quickly run out carrying a huge piece of cloth. They lay the cloth on the ground to signal to the jet that they are alive and need rescue. They see the jet coming towards them, and start waving at it. The jet also sees the huge sign made by them. And finally, they are all going to be rescued from the apocalypse. And the movie ends with Jim staring into the sky. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please leave a like and subscribe to the channel for more movie recaps.